So, as huge of a gamer as I am, I'm finding myself getting back into my classic gaming library, and slightly farther from the newer gaming generation. I'm not saying it sucks, or that I'm jaded or anything. Maybe I'm just getting older. For instance, back when Super Metroid was coming out, I remember actually losing sleep for weeks because I was so excited for the game to come out. You bet your ass I lost even more sleep when it finally was released. I hadn't gotten that same level of excitement over a video game for a long time, until a friend introduced me to a little game you may have heard of called Halo. And it was all over for me at that moment. It was a new digital galaxy to explore, filled with awesome characters, huge battles reminiscent of the Star Wars films. In fact, the mythology's become so deep and expanded, it's like a new Star Wars. Well, at least in the realm of video games. The sci-fi space opera storylines are so detailed, it's funny almost to see such attention put in for a genre that's usually about just shooting everything while getting from point A to point B. Well, anyway, I could babble on forever about the entire series this far, and we all know I do enough of that already, mentioning Halo in pretty much every episode. So with the Master Chief Collection right around the corner, I feel it's an appropriate time to finally do an actual Halo episode. But I'm going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop. The primary focus of this two-part episode is going to be Halo 4. But first, there's nothing like a chilly autumn night. Ugh, did I just say chilly? Remind me to kick my own ass. There's nothing like a cold autumn night, a little past midnight, just getting home from a video game's launch release. Getting into your pajamas and jumping into that brand new motherfucking game. For those who may not know, Bungie Studios created the Halo franchise and went off on their own after releasing Halo Reach in 2010. Passing the Halo torch to 343 Industries, named after that annoying robotic testicle from the original trilogy, with Halo 4 being 343's first official full-fledged Halo release. How many words starting with the letter F did I just fucking say? Fuck it. Now, some people consider Halo 4 to be the black sheep of the Halo family. Well, being somewhat of a black sheep myself, I can relate. And Black Sheep is one of my favorite Chris Farley movies. And that's got nothing to do with Halo 4. Well, now that we're all cozied up, let's slide this fucker in. Taking place 4 years after Halo 3, Master Chief is woken up by his AI companion Cortana, who's looking slightly more cheekier than her Halo 1 days. Yeah, I'd totally give her the business. Their lost ship is boarded by a Covenant fleet, but you'll recall from the previous Halo games, the Arbiter rallied his species, the Elites, or Sangeli, whatever, to join humankind to stop their blindly devoted leaders from stupidly activating the Halo weapons, which would eradicate all life in the galaxy. Well, now I feel the need to explain. Here's your cutoff point. Spoiler alert, you've been warned. Okay, so a bunch of aliens stumbled upon humans sometime in the future. The different alien species previously formed a religious faction together called the Covenant. The leaders, called prophets, are a bunch of lazy old fanatics with bad teeth who sit around and float in wheelchairs like Yoda. They're convinced that activating the Halo rings will send them to meet their god, when it's actually a galactic weapon left behind by an ancient alien race, as a failsafe to destroy all sentient life, preventing a galaxy-wide parasite called the Flood from spreading. Basically, space zombies. Fucking terrifying. Fuck that, better yet, how about astro zombies? Prime directive, exterminate the whole human race in your face. You get the point. The Covenant also hate humanity. They believe we're some kind of unholiness to their religion. Because of this, humanity and the Covenant have been at each other's throats for fucking decades. So you can imagine they were pretty pissed when the first Halo ring blew up courtesy of Master Chief and Cortana. This guy was in charge of that particular Covenant fleet, and so of course he was held responsible for its destruction. He gets put on a suicide mission for the Prophets, by becoming the Arbiter, basically given one final act so he can die with honor. More stuff happens, and by stuff, I mean Halo 2. Long story short, the Arbiter says to his comrades, "Look, you dumb fucks, these old fat prophets are morons, and they're gonna get us all killed." Which leaves Halo 3 ending with a truce between the Covenant and humanity. But we also see Master Chief being left behind in a damaged ship in space for a few years, leaving many to believe he's dead. Which brings us here, back to Halo 4. Did you get all that? Well, if you didn't, watch it again, Google it, or better yet, play the other Halo games for yourself. So Chief and Cortana make their way off the boarded ship the best way Chief knows how, by killing every fucking living thing in sight, and after a hair-raising escape, you realize that that was just the intro mission. You've got a whole motherfucking adventure ahead of you. Surviving a crash into the artificial world called Requiem, adventuring the wreckage and terrain, I'm seeing some nostalgic parallels to the original Halo. Such as having Chief being woken up on a human military starship boarded by the Covenant, then being stranded on an alien world. Just some pretty cool throwbacks to the old school days. The graphics are beyond gorgeous, skyboxes and vistas that stretch on forever, just like in the old Halo games. But then, we're finally introduced to the mythical Forerunners that we've only heard about in the past games. I remember seeing this cinematic for the first time, being so engrossed in the atmosphere, it was like I was there, like someone was watching. And then it happened. The badass Forerunner Knights phase in from out of nowhere, pissed off, basically like, who the fuck is this green asshole? Maybe I'm getting a little too into this, because now it feels like I'm actually being watched. It's probably nothing. Anyway, on to Mission 3, my favorite. It's where Chief really gets into it firsthand with the Forerunners. They've got this mishmash look going on, like they're pieces of metal held together by magnets, or magic. Magnets? How the fuck do they work? Yeah, we'll just stick to magic. You almost get a Metroid vibe here on out. From the Forerunner designs, all this weird plasma lava shit, and the environment's color scheme has a tinge of Norfair to it. The Tron-like skybox surrounding everything reminds you that this planet is not a natural... Mission 3 is one of the longest and most difficult levels in the game, especially if you play on anything higher than normal. It's not beyond impossible, but then again, no game's hardest difficulty is as beyond bullshit as Shadows of the Empire's hardest mode, where you can't even walk 3 fucking feet without dying. Challenge is a recurring mainstay of the Halo franchise. Heroic is the game's hard mode, which is probably the most realistic. It can be punishing at times, but there's a balance between its cruel punishment and rewarding challenge. But the Halo game's legendary difficulties can go fuck themselves. They're so controller-shatteringly cruel, it seems like they're mostly intended for playing cooperatively with your friends, so you can all laugh at each other at who fucking dies the most. I didn't record myself beating the game on Legendary alone, because this level took me like 5 hours, and I don't want you guys to know how many controllers I broke in the process. See? Bullshit, what the fuck? Alright, he's dead, stop shooting him.
They found the opening!
That's what she said.
They're not diverting from the opening!
That too is what she said.
The pillars! Touch the pillars!
Touch the pillars? What is this, fucking phantasm? If demonic dwarves from hell come out after me, I swear I'm gonna shit my pants. Nah, no evil dwarves. It's where we meet the imprisoned Forerunner, the Didact, who turns all his minions red. So, are they, like, supposed to be angry now? I don't get it. Whatever, who cares, they're still awesome. Oh shit, they really are pissed. Run for it, Chief! Run! Now, I had seen the game's trailers before it was released, so I knew they were adding a new vehicle. Metal Gear Rex. I mean the Mantis. Of course it's launch night, so I had already played a few multiplayer matches so I could get to see this big metal bastard in action. but I just couldn't wait to see how this thing was introduced in the campaign. Enter Mission 4. Chief saves the day battling throughout a massive downed UNSC Star Cruiser, demolishing those alien bastards with this massive, shiny new toy. That sounded wrong. The Halo series is home to many other supporting characters besides Master Chief. Halo 4 introduces us to some new faces, like Spartan Lieutenant Palmer.
I thought you'd be taller.
Fuck you, bitch! He's a goddamn genetically engineered Spartan 2 super soldier, and he's already taller than the friggin' Undertaker. What more do you want? There's also a grown-up Lasky from the Forward Unto Dawn movie. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with him in the later on Halo stories. God, but Captain Del Rio is such an asshole. The character models in the cutscenes are fucking unbelievable. They're so realistic. You can feel the drama unfold during some of the scenes almost.
Lieutenant! Arrest that man!
Captain!
Arrest him!
Captain!
What the fuck? Why is everyone such a ball-buster to Master Chief in this game? He's one of the biggest war heroes in the story, and he just woke up, what, like fucking 12 hours ago? Speaking of that, this whole game shows Chief constantly having to be woken up. Jesus, Chief, somebody's narcoleptic. You may want to get that checked out, dude. Maybe get on some medication or something. Oh shit, it's getting late. Should probably hit the hay myself. But first, I think I've been sucking this game off long enough. So, time to take off my Halo fanboy glasses and address some complaints. Yeah, I can't see. The Forerunners make a welcome diversity to the Halo enemy collection, but these flying guys can go fuck themselves. Come on, get back here, just die already. Let's be honest, the enemy lineup had been pretty much the same for the past decade until this point. Grunts, elites, jackals, and so on. We needed something new. But why in the fuck did they change the look of all the Covenant species all of a sudden? They do look cool, but what was wrong with how they looked before? The elites are horrifying and look like something out of H.P. Lovecraft's nightmares. And what's up with the grunts? They're supposed to be funny, say stupid stuff, and basically supply humor.
Boo.
Now they look like that creepy troll thing from that movie Cat's Eye. They're still fucking adorable. And I'd hug the shit out of them. The jackals look awesome though, I'll admit. They look like velociraptors now. I know it's just a cosmetic thing and has nothing to do with the gameplay, but still, what the hell? Maybe it's like a different ethnicity of each species, or maybe I'm looking into it too much. The campaign missions do feel slightly more linear than in the previous installments, but that doesn't make it bad. It's still one hell of a fucking ride. After all, it has everything you'd expect from a Halo campaign. Foot missions, gunfights, massive vehicle-heavy battles, air combat, there's even a Star Fox level.
Do a barrel roll!
That's something I always enjoyed about Halo. There was always some gameplay variety in each stage to keep things exciting. Like in the old school Super Star Wars games, you never really knew what to expect from level to level. Alright, just one last thing. People complained about the final battle with the Didact because it was just a quick-time event. But does anyone remember the last boss from Halo 3? You just shoot lasers at that flying bowling ball over and over again. And in Halo 2, you fight a roid rage gorilla, not even playing as Master Chief. I remember everyone going apeshit, no pun intended, over stuff like that. Just goes to show, no matter what, you can't please everyone, I guess. Well, before I get myself too riled up, I'm gonna pull a Master Chief and knock myself out for the night. Tune in for part 2, where we'll talk about what made Halo the household name it's become, the multiplayer. Till next time.
I see everything.